We're here on a geology which is very versatile in a county which is blessed with mineral resources. Further to the west are the sharp sand and gravels, which are so critical to the formation of concrete. But here today, we're on soft sand, often called building sand. This material, this wonderful material right here, is the lower green sand. It's lower Cretaceous. That's over 100 million years old. And this new quarry is extracting that material to supply mortar to the housing industry, so critical for the development of this country, and to asphalt for our roads, and many other products, niche products besides. This is a great operation, and I thought I'd like to have a quick word with Peter Crate of J&J Franks, who are one of our SME members. They're a family firm. In 2017, it was their 75th anniversary. So they're approaching 80 years. And I just wanted to have a quick word with Peter about what it took to get this quarry up and running. So Peter, if you come on over here, you and I go back a long way. We know each other. We're very familiar with the rigours and the travails of getting planning in this country. How long does it really taken you from concept, when you had that first moment of, I'm going to get that land because I think I might be able to get a quarry in there?
Well, in truth, the site was owned by a predecessing company. They acquired it in 1987 and tried to get planning permission. It's a very large deposit, as you know. And in 2001, they actually gave up. It wasn't a core for their business. They decided to sell it, and we were fortunate enough to buy it. In buying it, we knew we had a long road ahead, and it took many years of acquiring additional land holding adjoining it to try and minimise our impact by, as you know, we've got an excellent road into the site. We bought 70 acres to actually enable access. We planted many trees, 30-odd thousand trees here, well in advance of any planning application, so the screen and the benefit from those trees could be achieved at an early stage. In answer to your direct question, I think it took at least 10 years of work from the actual conception of how we were going to work it to actually getting the planning permission.
It's amazing. And that's not atypical. I know from other colleagues in the industry that it takes an awful long time getting it in the plan. You went through that process?
The site actually has been in the plan for about 30 or 40 years, but that wasn't a rubber stamp for getting permission. As I say, the predecessors walked away from it because they couldn't get it. I think the fact that we live and breathe in the local area and that we could actually get in with the local community and get people understanding that having a quarry in your backyard is not a bad thing. It actually worked to our favour, and we worked hard at doing that, and it was a lot of work before we actually went for
so reputation and track record play very much into trying to win the hearts and minds of the community.
Absolutely.
And local politicians.
Yes, not just local politicians, but local people, our neighbours. We put out quarterly newsletters here, updates to our local neighbours. We actually have been providing a shopping provision for people during the COVID crisis. Just because we are neighbours, we want to be part of the community rather than apart from the community, and that's how we work. And a lot of our competitors in the MPA work the same way.
You've got quite a few million tonnes of material here, so you've got a pretty solid long-term future. You're also going to restore it progressively using inert waste material.
Correct.
Now I know there are difficulties in making sure that we can get that material in the first place, but then there's the whole licensing and permitting process. I know you're still struggling with some of that.
We struggle. That is probably harder for us than the actual mineral planning process. We do find an unlevel playing field with regards to the Environment Agency's implementation of their policies, landfill directives and such like. And we do find the fact that the inert markets in the summer months the material goes to places that perhaps are not regulated in the same standard and ways that we are. And that is, to us, probably the greatest burden and problem we have as a business.
That's been going on for about 20 years from my past experience. When you've got the restoration plan really moving along, what's the end game look like?
Well, the end game is it returns back to farmland. It's farmland at the moment. You'll see when you go around the site. We've got a lot of active farm. We've got 300 odd acres down here, most of which is down to agriculture. Once we reinstate the ground, it'll be back to agriculture again.
And anything for nature conservation?
Oh yes, you've got the Glebe Lake, which you've seen. We're doing work there with the Surrey Wildlife Trust. Yes, we've got 30,000 trees, as I said, that we planted. We've got back boxes all around the site. We're doing a lot of ecological things. We're working with the Surrey Wildlife Trust on a parcel of land to the north of the site at the moment to create a wetland area. So yes, it's something that we have to do all the time, and biodiversity is a key issue and important for any future mineral working activities.
You've got a face that you've left available for sand martins?
Yeah, we're not actually required to do that, but the sand martins come and pick the place they want to be every year, and actually we like seeing them. The men enjoy it. We've got 200 odd. We've got a colony of over 200 here now, and that face is now left till the autumn when they've had their birds and their fledglings and nested and moved on, and then we can go and work it. But we actually welcome them. It's part of being in the countryside.
Okay. Well, look, thanks for that, Peter. I just wanted to. It's a great story. You tell it well, and let's hope it goes from strength to strength.